Previously on Follow the Leader. Today we're playing Molotov College by W.H. Arthur. For those of you who are new to the game, here are the basics. You are the alumni of Molotov College, a school for kids gifted with superpowers who have now grown into young adults. Not only do you have to save the city from world-ending events, only some of which of your own doing, you also have to fight against social injustice and bullies with authority. On top of that, you have to deal with ghosts from your past and keep them from tearing the group apart, as well as literal ghosts that haunt the city.
So yeah, I'll be playing Kerrigan Kestrel, aka Carrie, uses she, her pronouns. Her playbook is the Empress.
I am playing Meryl Whitmer, my girl, my beloved. She uses she, her pronouns. Her playbook is the World.
All right. I am going to be playing Max Valera using the Moon playbook.
And you've probably guessed by now, I'll be playing Soulhawk, uses she, her pronouns. Her playbook is Justice.
They're still alive, right?
Yeah, they are. They're just hard to get a hold of.
Okay. Good. And she'll she visibly relaxes and she goes, okay. And she goes to take a shower. Like very much alive is all I need. Anything else is fixable.
Yeah. And Carrie will just order some takeout and put together different drink options for when Meryl gets out. And it's just here is the hard stuff. Here is the less hard stuff. Here is some coffee and tea. And then also just drink lots of water.
Yes.
You look dehydrated, bitch. Drink some water.
She is ashy in a way that she should not be.
Yeah.
But she does get out. She looks better. Still not great. She's not dirty anymore. I think she's just in loose sweatpants and an old, probably, I can only imagine she doesn't recognize it, but it's an old t-shirt that Carrie stole from Soul a long time ago.
Oh, probably. It was just I'm not gonna let you wear my nice clothes, but here's some weird not nice things that I happen to have.
Well, she wasn't gonna wear the nice clothes anyway, she wants to be in loungewear right now.
Yeah.
And she will drink a glass of water. I think she's going to eat very slowly.
Yeah.
And she is going to... I don't think she's going to say anything. If Carrie has questions, she needs to ask them.
We now return to your game already in progress.
I think Carrie will have them, they could be sitting out on her patio to be enjoying the sun, and I think Carrie is just staring at her the entire time without saying anything, and it was just I'm gonna stare at you until you get uncomfortable enough to say anything, or I'm just gonna sit here and try to puzzle you out.
Yeah, okay. So then...
Yeah.
So then, Meryl leaves this alone. I don't think she is, that uncomfortable. I think she's a little uncomfortable just in the fact that she has not seen or been seen by anyone in 6 years.
Yeah. She is used to Carrie doing weird things like this.
She's She at the same time that she's not used to this, it is also really nice to no longer be a ghost.
Yes.
So she just kind of, like, leaves it alone for a while, and, like, at a certain point, she just, like, very, very, like, normally, like, not phased at all goes, do I have something on my face?
I'm trying to decide if I need to get you some bronzer or something. You look like you're half dead.
I feel like I'm half dead, thank you for noticing.
Oh, of course.
I also think that she is well aware of the fact that it is the same amount of time that, like, for the 6 years that she's been gone, it has also been 6 years since she disappeared, so she's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Do you want me to text the others? Do you want me to get you a phone?
Both of those things sound really nice, actually. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to find them, but, well, Soul is very good at not wanting to be found when she doesn't want to be. And Max has always been more private, so.
Oh yeah, neither of them are online.
Yeah.
If only we'd all be so smart. But no, neither of them have any sort of presence online that would be easily searchable. She'll just, like, hand over her phone and just be like, if you want anything from the grocery store or, like, you know, whatever, just put in the order and I'll get it for you. Like, if you need some lotion, girl, you need some lotion. Whatever, just go for it and I'll take care of everything else. Carrie's like, I got this. No problem. Don't worry.
Carrie actually being I think Meryl looks up and like looks at her and is like, now I know it's been 6 years because you were never this nice to me when we were kids.
Oh, I have to deal with far worse people than teenagers these days. It puts a lot of things into perspective.
We're also not teenagers anymore.
Oh, thank God for that.
And I think that she will, I think that she's going to drag Carrie, into a selfie, just as a, like...
With Carrie's own phone.
With Carrie's own phone. And she is going to send the same message to Soul and Max, but this time with the accompanying photo. She only didn't do it in the library because she didn't have a camera. So
Carrie's face palming in the selfie. Just like, oh, Christ.
Meryl looks very tired. She is only half smiling. She looks half dead. Carrie was right. But Soul and Max are both going to get a photo captioned, "I lived, bitch," from Carrie's number.
And Carrie is going to be like, oh my God, we're going to get you some Korean face care. I can't stand looking at those bags under your eyes. They make me feel like I'm getting carpal tunnel by carrying it all.
I think that Meryl, like, looks at her and is like, yeah, well, there wasn't a lot of skincare available at the end of the world, so.
That is such a loaded fucking statement that you're just dropping so casually because that's who you are as a person.
Well, you weren't going to ask.
Well, I wasn't. What? You have a lot on your plate right now. Me asking immediately, you know, like an hour after we reunite 6 years later, being like, where in the goddamn hell have you been? I would let you come to do it at your own terms. That sure is a term that you've come to and dropped on my lap.
Sorry.
That's, you know, I should have expected that's where you ended up. Somehow. I should have expected it. I'm not as surprised as I probably should be, so... Oh... She'll then take her phone back and type into the chat with the other two, and she'll be like, can we have a sleepover? I do not want to be responsible for this all on my own. She's like, I got enough space in my townhouse. It's fine.
The notion of a smash cut at that to everyone just being there is so fucking funny. I don't know if it happens, but
Right, it's like on one half of the screen is Carrie and Meryl sitting on her patio and Carrie's texting, and then you've got the other half of the screen, top half, bottom half, Sol and Max looking at their phones being like, the shit?
What the fuck?
Carrie will drop her address because I don't think she's given it to the other two, and just being like, I can't be the only one responsible right now. I normally am the responsible one, but
Max texts back says, I know where you live, Kestrel.
No other responses.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the easiest thing for Max to respond to.
Max doesn't know how to reply to any of the rest of it, but this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and pitch to you, August, for the next scene, give it all that. Do I need to go find Sol at the monkey's uncle in the city after getting that message?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Cool. Wicked. So I guess
I just think it would be very funny if Sol does not have a phone at current because she broke it.
Oh my god.
Oh god, typical.
Fuck yes. Okay.
Fuck.
So next scene.
Sol is the last to know when Meryl tried to have her be the first to know.
Mhm.
Shit.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
the irony.
So next scene, we see Max thump her way into the monkey's uncle. What sort of time of day of it?
So then I like the implication that Sol is at the monkey's uncle, unrelated to the fact that Meryl has returned and she has to go drinking.
This is Sol.
Yeah,
It's Sol.
is Sol.
To be fair, Max would try other places, but he's trying the monkey's uncle first.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of thuds her way in, the bottom of her cane, like, peel. You can hear the audible stickiness of the floor as she makes her way across. She's still, like, in her day job clothes. She's just, like, a beat-up shirt and, like, cargo pants. Light jacket, or the flannel shirt slung over the top. And looks around. I say looks around, looks to Sol's usual spot at the bar, is relieved that she is there, because that means I don't have to go search every other place. And sort of thud over and, like, try and gauge how much, if Sol is drinking hard and ergo does know, or if this is just, casual afternoon, evening
Or
drinking.
normal drinking.
Yeah.
This is definitely just sort of casual, like, nursing a glass while keeping her eyes kind of darting around the room. I think Max is familiar enough with this situation to know that, like, Sol is potentially trying to, like, suss out a lead or something like that, rather than actively drinking.
Yeah, no, I get it. This is sort of like coffee and contemplation kind of a vibe. Cool, so I sort of head over to the bar, clock the vibe, in that this is like, I'm just like, how you doing, Hawk?
Been better, been worse. Kind of raise the glass and tilt it towards you before taking another sip.
Well, I have news that's either going to it's definitely going to swing you one way or the other. And I pull my phone out from my pocket, just like, have you not got a phone again?
Sol, like, kind of snorts and is like, damn things are too fragile. You know me and fragile things.
We've got to get you one of those old school, like, Nokias, the ones that you can, like, use to hammer in a nail. Anyway, I got this, like, 20 minutes ago, came to find you. As you didn't reply in the group chat, and I just sort of, like, set my phone on the bar next to you. and open it so you can see the picture.
I think all the color drains from Soul's face, and she, like, her head snaps around to look at Max and is just like, "You're shitting me."
Yes, Hawk, I'm shitting you. This is an elaborate way to fuck with you on a Tuesday afternoon. I take my phone back before you can punch it and put it in my pocket. Look, if this is an elaborate fuck around, Kerry's in on it, which is no, I think this is legit. This better fucking be legit, because if it's not, I am gonna go punch Kerry. Would you like to come with? Because I'm gonna go find out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, Soul just doesn't answer. She just slams back the rest of her drink, slaps a couple of bills on the bar, and hops off the bar stool, makes her way to the door.
Great, yes, good talk. Follows you out, somewhat slower.
I don't think Soul, like, is going too fast for Max to keep up.
Sure, yeah, I think it was like, you know, when you say, okay, we're going, you just go to leave, just like, oh, okay, cool. Sort of catching up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe the door of the monkey's uncle swings. You see the door sort of like batter back and forth in its frame, and it, like, the scene transitions to us, I guess, at Kerry's front door, banging on the door.
I have a doorbell. Jesus.
Have you met these two?
Unfortunately. I'm surprised Max just doesn't let herself in.
Actually, that is funnier.
That's Max, I have your address, Valera would just let herself in.
Yeah, I think it isn't so much as a, oh god, that is really fucking funny. I let myself in with a key I had cut without your knowledge.
Yeah.
There we go.
But also, this is Carrie. She probably does have, like, a ring cam set up that would
Yeah.
just, like, ping her phone when there's movement around her front door.
Sure.
So she knows. So at this
Mhm.
point, yeah, it was definitely Max got a key cut without her knowledge, but then she's just accepted it.
Mhm.
They don't speak about it.
Mhm. Because that would mean acknowledging that they have a supportive friendship.
Yeah.
Couldn't be us. Couldn't be us.
Yeah, she'll get the ping on her phone, like, seconds before, like, the key's in the lock, and she'll just be like, all right, Meryl, brace yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna remove myself before I get hit.
To be fair, I think the presence of Meryl actually being there would negate the being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
The door bangs open, and not bangs open, but door comes
I was
open.
like, oh my god, no,
Yeah, no, the
paint.
woodwork. Yeah,
Please don't do
no.
that.
I push the door open and I just say, "Castro, there better be coffee." As we sort of move into the house.
Oh, of course there's coffee. I've got everything. I've got a wet bar and I've got coffee. Of course we're prepared for this conversation.
I think Meryl does put her glass down so that she can get up.
And yeah, I think part of it is Max's uncertainty, because it's like, where do things currently stand between me and my question mark? It's complicated status. And I think it's sort of like she desperately wants to check that this is real, that Meryl is actually here, but also Sol and Meryl have a closeness, or had a closeness, that is different and potent, and also Sol is bigger, so he's gonna let Sol go first.
Carrie hands Max a cup of coffee.
This is why I tolerate you.
The good roast that I buy.
Just your coffee, nothing else.
They'll stand aside in the kitchen.
Yeah, just like tacitly not
Peanut
acknowledging.
gallery.
Yeah, but also like tacitly not acknowledging how emotionally fraught this situation is.
Yep. Emotions? Don't know her.
Incredible.
All right, Sol.
Yeah, I think Sol, like, upon seeing this situation, just freezes for several moments.
So I think that Meryl will take one step forward to see if Sol flinches. Does she?
That's a good question. I don't think she does.
Okay. In which case, that was her testing the waters. She is going to jump onto the chair, off of the chair, and tackle Sol in a hug.
Rip your good furniture, Castro.
And I am very specifically saying she does not teleport. She wasn't lying about, like, feeling like that she didn't, like, feeling like she couldn't teleport for a while. She also is, smart enough to know that her teleporting will probably not help the situation. So she is very deliberately moving through space like a real person, like a anybody else would.
Off furniture. Yeah, that's a real general person move.
It's the quickest way forward. There's shit in the way. I'm just gonna step on it.
Parkour hardcore.
Gotta get to my sister.
I don't think Sol hugs back just yet.
Mhm.
I think Meryl can't see this because, Sol's taller than Meryl, and currently they're hugging, so she can't necessarily see Sol's face, but Sol is slack-jawed and then is just like, "You were dead."
Not dead. Well, almost, but not dead.
Where the fuck have you been?
Oh, 60 years in the future?
60.
The silence is in character, and then Sol, brings her arms up to, tentatively test. Even though Meryl is clearly hugging her, she still can't quite believe that Meryl is there, so she's, tentatively testing. It's okay, if I touch Meryl on the shoulder, is she going to disappear?
That was kind of one of the things that Meryl was like, okay, I'm flinch testing her to see if she thinks that I'm a hallucination, and since she didn't flinch, I am just going to hug her, and then she knows that I'm solid. Not thinking about the fact that right now she is 110 pounds soaking wet.
And then Sol gives in and just goes in for the fierce bear hug, and then is just like, "What the fuck, Meryl?"
Yeah, I think Meryl sighs happily because oh shit, oh right, I'm touch starved. Sorry, it took me forever to figure out how to make it back. I had to kind of give myself a crash course in quantum physics.
60 years in the future?
Maybe. It's hard to tell, but definitely not. Definitely not. Recent.
I think it's at this point that Sol remembers there are other people in this place. She doesn't let go of Meryl, but she does kind of turn her head towards where Carrie and Max are, and is just like, "Thanks, Kestrel."
I mean, again, I'm not going to take on the sole emotional responsibility of this. I think the rest of you should share in that burden.
I think Meryl pulls back and she goes, "Come off it, Carrie. You love me, really."
Ugh. Ugh. Don't let anyone hear you say that.
Meryl will look at Max at this point.
Carrie discreetly edging away to then go make drinks for
Yeah.
everybody.
I think Max cautiously is holding herself back. Just looking at one of my moves, which is conceal your feelings and emotions. Hey.
Oh shit, I forgot about moves.
Yeah. Welcome to
It's no
FTL.
moves, just vibes, baby.
Baby.
Who needs a rule book?
But I think Max is sort of like, because I think the brace has happened in the time since Meryl's been gone, like the leg brace.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just say it's good to see you. I like
I
the.
think
I think I like the, and just sort of like runs her hand over her own head. Obviously, like the sides are shaved, like the top knot's up. It's just like it's not the pink, but yeah.
um thanks. I actually didn't really know what it looked like until earlier.
Oh, well, you got the bone structure for it.
I think that it can't Max can't see it on Meryl's face, but I think Soul can kind of feel how she's kind of like something about the way that she's she's still holding Soul, and it kind of like her grip kind of like slackens in a like she's like kind of confused a little, but she's not gonna say anything about it to Max. Like she's not gonna be like, oh, you're reacting the wrong way to me coming back from the fucking dead. Like,
Regular move for Carrie. Use your telepathic powers, or like read someone's emotions and surface thoughts.
Oh yeah.
What are your emotions and surface thoughts, Meryl?
what
is please give everyone run across the table emotions and surface thoughts for the telepath, please.
Yeah. Meryl is like exhausted. She's really like happy to see, like she's so relieved to see Soul and Max are both alive, because like I think she's seen them before in alternate timelines, but they're not hers. And I think that sorry, I'm gonna lore dump for a quick second.
Yay!
I think that she's able to tell when she's not in her timeline.
That makes sense.
So, like, she's tried to, like, jump around a bit to, like, get back, and she's, like, just not been able to successfully make it back to, like, her timeline, and this is, like, her timeline. So she's relieved because, like, in the far future in her timeline, she, like, saw them dead, obviously. So she's, like, relieved and happy to be back. She is, like, still very disoriented from doing the time travel bit. I don't think she's done this big of a jump in a while. The first time was unintentional. I don't think she's intentionally done this big of a jump. And she's, she doesn't think that, like, this is a frosty reception from Max, but she's like, she's like, I get it, but also, like...
The fuck?
But also, like, why is she all the way over there?
What does Carrie do with this information?
I think, well, one, she is gonna prod at Max. I think both, like, a little bit with, like, her telepathy, but, like, just to, like, try and see what Max's read on it. But then she might also just, like, fully elbow Max, just visibly and sharply with her pointy little elbows in the side. Not in any way that generally means, like, oh, you should go talk to her, but it's just like, what kind of reaction is that? Like, I understand, but also, we made fun of me for not having emotions. Come on.
I think the read that Carrie gets, and also I think Carrie, when you try to read Max's thoughts, you get, like, the surface stuff like you would, but you know that kind of staticky sound that, like, those telescopes that are microphones that for listening to space. You get that sound in there as well. So I imagine it's not very pleasant. But I think what you get before Max sort of clamps down on it is probably familiar with the telepathic nudge. It's just sort of is scared to be as emotional as she wants to be. In that way that you sort of hold on to something because you're worried it's going to be too big, too much, too loud. As somebody that has always been told, you are too much, you are too loud, your power is too much, you cannot let go. It's that. Because when you are so happy, so relieved, so all you want to do is run up to somebody and like hold on to them and not let them go again. And you can't. And I think that's what Kerry is able to get before, as her elbow connects. And Max just, looks at her just like, why would you attack an invalid? Fucking ableist.
Fuck you, Max.
Fuck you too.
Tops off your coffee.
And I think realizing that maybe Kerry is doing the thing that Kerry does, which is micromanage everyone's emotional state.
Tosses my hair over my shoulder.
Glinda wishes. Just will let herself smile in that slightly shaky way. Just said, I knew you weren't dead. I made Davy check. Like all the fucking time. That's why he doesn't talk to me anymore. Because I keep asking.
Davy boy's a liar.
I mean,
we have plans for next Wednesday.
10 minutes ago, you said he was the closest with Sol.
It's true.
But no, I think it's a partial hyperbole, but it is sort of I can imagine Davy Jane cutting Max off, being like, you gotta stop asking.
Yeah.
The second I get an idea of her on the other side, I would tell you. Do you think I don't check for myself? Dumbass.
This is unhealthy. Stop asking.
Yeah, very much.
And Soul? Any emotions or surface thoughts to give up?
I mean, I don't think Carrie needs any sort of telepathy to understand that Soul's feeling confusion and relief. Like, it's all over her face how she's feeling at the moment.
Oh yeah, the one who really can't control the emotions on her expression.
Yeah.
The angsty one. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I mean, even if she were good at schooling her features, like, this is just such a shock. I don't think she'd be able to, but, you know, it's she's an open book in this moment. It's, you know, the disbelief, the relief, the not quite being able to accept that this is what's happening. Just like kind of waiting for another shoe to drop.
I think I sort of leaned back against the counter with my coffee and just like, I almost wish Dr. M was here so I could see if her face could actually move and express an emotion. Almost.
I mean, beyond the general mood of disappointment she had whenever you were around. Anyway, the thought is, I feel like Meryl has a lot to catch us up on, and I have the best, most comfortable location for it, and we're all here anyway. I've gathered you all here, etc., etc. But she didn't just kind of like peters out. She's like, I don't. These are people I have not been in a room together with in 6 years.
Maybe it is sort of like a pan out then, as like the scene sort of fades to black as we settle down, and maybe we do start catching everybody up. Like Meryl on what she's willing to share everyone else. I'm like, yeah, Dr. M died. Strength died. It was bad. Davy and his partner have like 7 adopted children. Kind of weird. Like, why 7? Seems excessive.
But yeah, Carrie will order more takeout and let everyone avail themselves to drinks. She is a fairly decent host in as much as she has had to host, like fundraising parties and things like that. So she's like, I know these steps. I got this. But then it's also so weird. Like, there's a level of like formality that she can keep around her when she's doing formal events and stuff like that. And it's like, that's her politician persona. And these are people that she was very close to in school. And so it's just kind of like, oh God, do I be this formal politician around them? Like I'm fundraising, or do I, like, how do I act around them? One of them's been gone for 6 years. One of them, I've manipulated her memory so she doesn't remember that we dated in a weird way. And the other one, it's Max, and she's fine. Carrie has normal relationships with people. I say about all of them have normal relationships with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Carrie's like, I feel like I should be code switching, but to which one?
Yeah. Fuck.
Where is the social script?
Yeah. She swears more than she would at a fundraiser party. But it's, yeah, I think like she doesn't let herself sit still long enough, because then she's like, oh, who do I sit next to? Do I sit over here? And then does it feel like I'm separating myself from them? Oh God.
I feel like this is a good time for me to make a headmaster move. Place unrealistic expectations on a student in a flashback.
Oh.
Very good.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Love this.
So I think
Yeah.
that part of what's going on in this moment is also potentially Carrie hearing Dr. M going over, like, you have to do this, and this if you expect to win anybody over while you're hosting. And just trying to impress upon her the importance of, maintaining appearances, in front of different audiences and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because then now she's also like, well, they were my friends, but they're also people who were superheroes or are superheroes, and so it's just kind of like 3 different levels of how do I interact with these people. And I can easily manipulate the thoughts and actions of normal people, and that's why she's, a fairly successful politician in that respect. But when it comes to like her friends, she wouldn't do that, but other like superheroes, they would recognize it. And like, yeah, then the headmaster also being like, hey, these are expectations and behaviors that you should exhibit. And also, if you want to take over my spot as headmistress afterwards, different things that you would do around people who have powers and abilities. They're having fun here.
Yeah.
But Carrie will offer her house for Meryl to stay in, because she has guest rooms. The others can decide what they want to do. She probably has enough guest rooms to host everybody, or she has a very comfy couch somewhere, They could all stay if they want to. She's just saying, just so you know. But yeah, then they could sit around, have dinner, and Meryl can talk about her experiences. And like, I think part of that is it's not like actively making the move from Carrie's playbook, but like one of her weak moves is absorbing negative emotions and have them overwhelm you. But I think it is like, if she feels it getting to be like too darkly emotional in a different way, like she will just like she will help absorb it and lighten the mood a little bit, just to like take some of that onus off of Meryl and like help relieve it from her. But like just very gently doing it a little bit at a time as this conversation goes on. And then she can go have an emotional breakdown of all of Meryl's absorbed emotions later.
Friendship.
We mustn't let the people know we feel things.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think that the thing is that Meryl is very much like, I think that Meryl made it into like the post-apocalypse in a way where she's like, I don't know how it happened. I don't know where it happened. I don't even know when it happened. All I know is that it happened. And it was, I mean, it definitely could have been, it was pretty bad. Like, it was pretty bad, but like there was still like structure and like there I had shelter, like I ate stuff, but like I don't think she gets into that very much. And really I just spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get back. Like, I don't know, at some point the world ends. I don't know when or why or how. Just it does. So
Given that this is kind of Sol's whole remit as a vigilante, does she have stuff to like contribute to that, I suppose? Right, let me look at the environmental playbook for the apocalypse.
Yeah, I think Sol kind of narrows her eyes and is like, yeah, ever since you left, I guess. I know something's coming, and I'm gonna try my damnedest to make sure it doesn't make it here. And Sol kind of sketches out some details that she knows, or at least thinks she knows, about what's coming. And I think Max and Carrie have probably heard all of this before several times. Like, I don't know if they necessarily, I don't want to speak for them about whether they believed what she was saying or not. Because I think some of it sounds kind of out there. But this is Sol going full tilt on, you know, all the wild theories that she's had, and, you know, the things that she's found out or thinks she's found out. And I think some of it comes from, like, because Sol's using the defunct college as, you know, kind of like her home base at the moment. Some of this, she directly references, like, some old files that Dr. M was keeping. So, like, you know, going on, you know, describing her corkboard at home.
Yeah, I think, like, part of, like, Carrie's reaction previously to Sol's, like, whole, the apocalypse is coming, is that she's like, listen, that's so narrow of a viewpoint. You're just feeling that way because the political atmosphere is bad, and like she's like, listen, it's not the actual apocalypse, it just feels like it sometimes. And so it's just like, but I think then it would depend on how much the head mistress, like Dr. M, really believed in it, and how much she would then convey to Carrie as, like, her I will prime you to be my successor type of thing. But, like, because that atmosphere that the doctor would have varied differently than how Sol would have approached it. But yeah, I don't know if Carrie thought it was quite as serious as all that.
I think it's interesting if Dr. M, like, had some information about what was coming, but didn't necessarily think that it was as dire as Sol does. So,
yeah,
like, you know, maybe Carrie had access to some of that information, is like, yeah, the time knife, we've all seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also think that there's stuff that Dr. M got wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Like, you ever wonder why Davy Jane can talk to ghosts? You ever wonder why there's ghosts at all?
What are ghosts?
You can punch a ghost. Classic. I mean, not really. I never thought that the ghosts were a signifier of the apocalypse in that way. It was just ghosts have been here because sometimes things get broken and the connection between our reality and their reality is broken, but like in the same way that you tear a plastic bag or something. What do I know?
Look, I'm just saying. There's shit out there. And now we got proof that it can go bad. God, I'm so tempted by one of my weak moves right now.
Do it.
Do it.
Out of stubbornness, pick a fight with someone you probably shouldn't.
Beautiful.
And just Saul says that and then kind of snorts and is like, but what would prim and proper protege like you know?
I just said I don't. That has always been your purview, Soul, not mine. In as much as then Carrie will, like, just get up and collect the dishes and just be like, I'm gonna remove myself from this conversation.
I just, as the drama within, what if we have a little flashback here to Sol and Carrie have a similar argument as teens? Like, of a similar thing, like maybe a disagreement or Sol trying to convince something and Carrie being like, I don't know. And just like, oh, of course you don't know. Prim, either way, just like a flashback to a similar argument as kids.
Yeah, Soul trying to press something on, like, a concept or, whatever, onto Carrie, being like, well, it's not like the doctor tells you everything, or it's not like you should always believe everything the doctor says. To be like, well, why don't you believe me instead of believing her?
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing. Yeah. Extremely drama-inducing teenagers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because the doctor likes you doesn't mean that you gotta worship the ground she walks on.
Soul, this is steps for me to secure my future. It's something that is very important to me.
And you're saying this ain't important? Because I don't think it actually matters what this is for the sake of this flashback.
Yeah. It is just a thing that Soul believes that Carrie does not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I thought we had something, why don't you believe me?
Mm-hmm.
You're my girlfriend. Why don't you agree with me? Why don't you listen to the things I tell you? Well, like, even if you don't believe me, I thought you had my back, you know?
Yeah. It's like, is your future alone so much more important than making sure that we have an agreement together?
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
The unspoken, so your future is more important than our future. Because everything is
yeah.
everything is those kind of stakes when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So true.
Don't
So
fucking
do
miss
Scooby.
it. You keep tagging stuff as so do Scooby, and I have no idea what you're referencing.
It's a Drawfee bit.
Ah, okay, fair.
I don't even remember what the bit was. That was just the end result of it.
Fair enough.
Instead of so true, bestie, so do Scooby.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think, and then it's especially, if Soul's out there trying to pick a fight with Carrie, and Carrie's already pulling the negative emotions from Meryl, and she's like, oh, I know this won't go well. I have to remove myself from this conversation very quickly before I then give in to Soul's need for a fight.
I think maybe Max will follow, and we'll just look at Soul, and be like, what was the point of that? Really? Something good happens and so you feel need to pick a fight, so you're justified about all the shit that makes you angry?
I'm trying to think how Soul phrases this. It ain't about picking a fight, it's about making sure we're all on the same page. And I think Dr. M put us all in different books.
Well, that's probably true. But it doesn't stop the fact that you're picking a fight. Like you two always do. God, I thought you guys put this shit behind you when you were kids. And then I leave the room.
God.
Look. Look, Max assumes those two just don't talk about their relationship because they're embarrassed about the shit they did with kids. Max doesn't know that Carrie mind whammied Soul, so she doesn't remember they dated at all. Look, I love to drop hints about shit like that. That's my jam as a player and an enabler of drama.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I vote that we get to see a little scene of young Meryl and Sol at a similar table. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're doing. I just like seeing it.
I just like them being siblings.
Yeah, Werner Herzog, I would like to see it.
I would like to see it. Give me 1 second.
Hearing girl talk about relationships.
Oh my god, you have a crush on someone.
Ooh, that's good, actually. I do like that. They might just be hanging out. I mean, they could just be hanging out in Meryl's room while she's, like, hours deep into doing her braids. Because braids take fucking forever to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out to the folks on TikTok who do this stuff and show me, because I'm like, yo, magic.
Yeah. I feel like the other, like, everyone else has been, like, rotating coming in and out of her room.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
To, like, hang out with her, and it's Soul's turn, and I feel like, so I do on some level feel like Carrie modifying Soul's memory meant that she did have to do a little bit of Meryl memory modification also.
Yeah. I fully think, like, yeah, like, the thing that she learned after doing a bad job with her ex was that then you do have to go and very carefully, surgically also do it to the people around you. Or it then would all just come unspiraling.
Snip the loose threads kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just, like, I feel like also just, like, kind of, you could kind of shift these things to, like, for Meryl especially, to, I don't know exactly how to, I'm gonna drop this sentence, actually, because I don't have an ending to it. But I think Meryl is like, so, how's it going? In the universal, like, little sister messing with her older sister who has a crush sort of way.
She drives me up the wall. And
Well, that's not the only thing I can do to you on a wall.
Fuck.
Sorry, I had to.
Uh-huh. Tell me more.
It's just and Saul's like clearly floundering for words here, and finally she's just like, her face is so stupid, but I can't stop looking at it.
Wow, you really are hopeless, huh?
Saul like picks up a pillow and throws it at Meryl.
I think Meryl does, just bop to the other side of the bed to dodge the pillow.
Yeah.
Pensive bleh! Oh my god, I love that emote!
Incredible.
Very Kestrel the telepath, 3 rooms over.
Look, you're the one who's usually getting to tease me about my crush. I am milking this for all it's worth. Okay?
Fine. She's so pretty and it makes me feel so stupid.
Meryl, drops one of her braids to, lean over and pat Soul on the shoulder. There. We've all been there.
What if I'm not the right kind of girl for her?
Then, I will fight her, and she doesn't know how to deal with me. I've gotten faster. You are a catch. Even despite your, attitude.
What's wrong with my attitude?
I love your attitude, but it is a little abrasive. I'm not even legally obligated to say it because it's not like we're related by blood. So, anyone who does decide that you aren't worth it, or that you're not a catch, I get to fight them. Just in the same way I know you'd do for me, right?
Right. And Saul's looking a little less forlorn with Meryl's words.
Besides, I totally think she has a thing for you.
How can you tell?
Just a hunch. I think it is literally just a hunch, but obviously, she's not the telepath. I don't know where this scene goes from here. It's just cute.
Yeah, I don't think it goes anywhere else from here. I think that's a good place to end it.
It just dissolves back to the present day.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be continued.